Hey guys, Tiffany here from Southern Gals Designs. I wanted to do a video today on artist trading cards, ATCs. This is actually my first ever swap that I'm participating in over at yourpaperpantry.ning.com. It's a group of people who swap, and they have all different kinds of swaps. If you've seen my vintage mail art video, that was one that I did there. And I'll have another one this afternoon on a new mail art swap that I'm doing. But I just wanted to kind of show you guys what I came up with. And the theme for our ATC this month is spring/Easter. So you can do it pretty much any way you want to. And since spring colors are my favorite, I'll jump right in on that. So here's what I come up with. I think the concept pretty much captures my idea or thoughts of spring. The pastel colors and the little bird and nest. So I'm going to walk through how I created this and kind of the process behind it. So what you'll need first is artist trading cards are cards that artists trade, kind of like baseball cards for people who swap baseball cards. They're specific measurements of 2.5 by 3.5 is the size that everybody, and you're not supposed to sell them. So those are really the only two rules, is you can't sell them, and they're to trade and swap out with other artists. They have to be 2.5 by 3.5. So this is kind of my very first one, like I said, and this is my idea. So let's walk through the process. So first of all, I took a 2.5 by 3.5 piece of jelly print that I had actually printed. It might have been on one of my other tutorials, I can't remember. The jelly printing with household items. I can't remember if this is the actual print or not, but I filmed this and I thought the corals and the blues and the greens, they really kind of spoke to me as far as spring is concerned. The other thing I did, just to go ahead and get everything ready together, so that you guys don't have to watch me cut and draw out. So I free-handed a little bird. This is my little bird here, and it's going to go into our little nest when we get through. So what you'll need is, I'm going to actually use a brown Sharpie for this, doing the tree. And I would have done it in paint, but it was just sitting close. And like I say, I was doing a little prototype of how I wanted it to look, and it come out really cool. So just really a rough sketch of your tree branches. And I'm so happy that I think I finally figured out this new camcorder. And hopefully the quality of photo is better for you guys. And hopefully I'm keeping it in frame, because I don't have a cameraman today. He just got home from work. So, and then, you know, just, it's really a simple little rendition of a tree, and you could go as complex or as simple as you would like it. So that's pretty much the branches. And then I'm just going to get out my trusty palette here that is totally bombarded with paint, and I'm using the Craftsmart acrylic paint from, I believe this is from Michael's brand, the olive green. And it's going to take very little. So, and then I have the Lush foliage from Craftsmart. And my process is quite easy. It is just to dip my finger into the paint, and I kind of get a little of each color. And going to create the leaves of our tree that way. And I think the little dabbing motion kind of helps you create what a tree leaves and kind of texturish. Okay. And then we're going to put a little bit up top. And I hope I'm able to get all of this in frame so you guys can see it. Okay. Alright. And that's pretty much the trees that we need here with the leaves. We'll dry it. Okay, and now I'm just going to go back with a little, I'm trying to remember what pen I used. I'm going to go with some highlights here. This is the Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pen Coal Gray that I'm going to use. And I'm just going to kind of give it some definition to the little tree here. Okay, and then I'm going to go with another color. And we're going to add a little white. And for this, this is my new one. For this, we're going to use the Sharpie water-based paint pens in white, the fine point. I've really been impressed with the way these Sharpie paint pens work. And I'm just going to smudge it as I put it on here to kind of, I don't want to go stark white, so this will kind of help blend everything in a little bit. Just a few highlights of the white, and I'm just smudging it with my finger a little bit. Okay, and now I'm going to go back with this pigmented Marvy Memory series pens, and it is the, maybe it doesn't have a color on here. It's number 1950, I guess, number 4 green. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good. And then I also want to go back with that pen that I had a while ago, the Pitt pen, and kind of just darken the shadow of the branches. Just ever so slightly. It gives it a little bit of definition there. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the nest. Now what I did is I had a piece of burlap that I got in a swap of some sort, and I just took one little strand off of there, and that's actually more than I need for this, so I'll just snip the little thing off there. Alright, so now we have one strand of burlap. And all I really did was just take my finger and coil it up around that. And if you need to tighten it up, then that's okay too. Till it kind of is in a circle. And then the adhesive that I use to attach it with is the E6000. I just grabbed this because it was close by. And just dab a little glue. There. It takes very little. Let me cap it back on because that stuff really smells strong. So, and anything that says the vapors are harmful, yeah, you want to be careful with that. So, just like I say, wrapping it around. And then we're just going to secure it on that little piece of glue. And you may find that you have to tuck those little tails in. So that they're not hanging free. Okay. Okay, so that's our little nest. And then I usually just take and kind of make sure it's going to be big enough for her to sit in there. Alright. Now, we're going to take the little bird that I just free-handed and cut. And you could really use a sticker if you had one or something. I wanted the three-dimensional look. And I'm just going to color the beak black there. And the wing. Okay. And then our little bird needs a little eye. And I'm just going to dot it. Right there. That looks like a good eye. We'll let that dry. While we let that dry, I'm going to go back here with the pen we used earlier. And just do a little doodle of some flowers down here. And a little grass. And springtime is always a good time for all the new flowers and little baby birds. Alright, let's add a little leaf here. This is really oh so super simple, so you could definitely take and elaborate on this if you wanted. Now let me find, I got these little Sharpie paint pens in the pastel colors, the extra fine point. I don't think it has a color on it. Water-based paint marker again. And these are very, probably need to shake it up. Very pastel-y. Is that a word? Maybe I just created one. Okay. So just a little circle flower on here in the purple and in the pink. Oh, this is lavender and that says pink. That's the colors right on the side there. Okay, so we're going to let that dry. While we let that dry, we're going to go ahead and stick our little bird in here while the glue is still pretty wet up top. And I'm just going to put her in the little nest. And kind of have it come over just a little bit. So it looks like she's actually sitting in the nest there. Okay. And that's going to be super secure. You could actually, if I could find mine right now, those little foam pop sticky things. I don't know what you call them. But you could put one behind her head. And I'll try to find that sometime or another. My craft room's a mess. And I actually did straighten up a little bit today. So that's pretty worrying that I am a messy pack rat that doesn't know where her stuff is. But you could put the little pop thing right there. And what we're going to do is go back with a pen, a writing mechanism of some sort. And all of my black pens I have totally destroyed. So if I can get this thing to actually make a... And I'm just going to define that flower just a little bit. I don't want it stark black, but just a little circle around it. And like I say, my pens don't write anymore. I have some new ones. I just, again, do not know where they're at. And I'm going to go back with this Jelly Roll pen, and I'm just going to put a little white center in the middle of the little flower. Just a little touch of detail there. Okay, so really only one more thing to do, and that is I could not find my little acrylic thing, so I used one of my little plastic bead tops that I have here over on my jewelry station. And I'm going to grab the Versa, no, not Versa. This is the Archival ink, Ranger Archival ink. It's waterproof, jet black. Get it good and inked up. Okay. And then I'm going to put it a little over here. Spring. Okay, and one last step just to kind of finish it up. And this paper that I used was 140-pound cardstock, but to me it just wasn't quite sturdy enough for the project that we're working on. So I had some playing cards, and the 3.5 by 2.5 is the same size as the standard playing cards. You can actually create an ATC right on the playing card. But what I'm going to do is just for additional support and sturdiness, I'm going to attach this. I'll just use this little glue here. Alright. Just around the edges. Alright. I don't really like to get that kind of stuff on my hands either. If it's harmful to breathe, I can only imagine what it could do to your skin. So, and I just take it and kind of push it to the side, that glue. We're going to cover up the whole surface here. And apparently, I didn't get my measurements quite right, which is no surprise because I have found, so I can go back and trim it to make sure it's the 2.5 by 3.5. I have found that I can't measure or cut straight. So I had to get me one of those little Martha Stewart scoreboards so that I could have my measurements correct. And I still screwed up because I actually used this on it. So I'm going to have to trim off a little bit here. And then that's pretty much the end result. Thank you guys. And then what I'll do probably on the back, and what I did with these, is I actually put a little tissue paper because I will go back and put my name and any contact information you want on the back so that they'll know who actually created this. So that's all for today, guys. Thanks so much for stopping by, and I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye.